YouTube, how the heck you doing? This is Corey here with Watcher Realms. This is going to be the Piercer team for the Season 7 Gladiator Gauntlet. So we did see the Piercer team kind of emerge in the late of Season 7, and it was decently performing for a little bit, and then it just stopped, right? Now the reason for that is because while a fantastic unit, is not going to be the best whenever it comes to just running it down with double spiders. So this season, for the Gladiator Gauntlet, we're going to see the exact same thing, unfortunately, unless some critical changes are made to how the team composition is built. Now, first, right, this is going to be the standard team. There's no changes with it as of right now. One of the key issues is Silas and Yovar are going to go ahead and ult the second that a unit gets here. And so it's very easy to go ahead and drop a tank and then double spiders and run it through, or just going ahead and running double spiders and running it through, because while she will spawn up one or two crystals, it is much more likely that she spawns a crystal in the wrong spot and is not going to go ahead and prohibit this run from being successful. So also one of the key factors is Silas and Yovar. While they will go ahead and ult, they're losing out essentially one additional tile of range that they normally had in the Season 7 map, which really negates their effectiveness overall. So this team comp is what you can build. If you have a very, very, very cracked Silas, it might work, but it's not going to be that effective overall. Now, one of the things that you can go ahead and change is if you're not going to build it like this, you can remove the eye and keep most of the comp the same. And instead of using eye in this particular position up here, you can use a Reeve. If you go ahead and use a Reeve here, you are going to go ahead and benefit from a significant amount of stuns whenever units are getting into this little corridor, and that could be effective for you, and it might push the line for you overall with going ahead and providing enough CC for your Reeve, not for your Silas and your Yovar to deal with any swarm attempt that is being developed here. Now, Elowen's job is to go ahead and survive Garnagar, so you're going to really need to go ahead and put her in a lot of HP percent gear, either substat or main stat, so that she eventually gets to 36k HP, so she can ideally survive 2 Garnagar hits. Reminder, whenever Elowen is, I believe, A1, whenever she goes ahead and ults, she gets damage reduction dealt to herself. So that is one of the key components. That's why you need 36k HP, because she's going to get hit, ult, survive by her heals, and the defense or damage reduction that she receives as a result. So that's one of the key things. Now, truth be told, if you're not running a Reeve here, you could even go ahead and run a Pagios in this particular tile here. So let's go ahead and exit out of this. And I'm going to go grab Pagios and kind of show you what that looks like. So get rid of I, Pagios. Here we go. And we put Pagios here. Now the reason for that is because Pagios is going to get that extra range. So actually, his tile range is showing is this. He's going to effectively have this range right here. And then when he ults, he's also just going to be in this little tile, so it doesn't necessarily matter. But the whole purpose is that whenever units pass through here, ideally, Pagios will do enough damage to deal with the bugs that spawn up and give you enough CC for your Silas and your Yovar to go ahead and deal with the threat effective immediately. And secondly, right, Elowen is going to go ahead and give you that rage regen, so he's going to have the ability to constantly do that if your enemy is going to try to go ahead and use a swarm against you or just run it down with double dogs. Finally, Yovar and Silas are going to benefit once again from Elowen because they're going to cycle their ults very, very, very frequently. So this is how you go ahead and build 2 variations of the Piercer team, at least in the top lane. Now the second team that you can go ahead and develop with this is if we go ahead and move all these units over here. And Brokir. We put Brokir here. You put Silas here. You put Pagios here. Yovar here, and then you go ahead and put a Lily here, right? Lily will go ahead and benefit because she is a piercer as well. She's going to go ahead and have enough range to cover where Brokir is located, and essentially you have gone ahead and built a pratus Ingrid team but with the Piercer faction, right? So that's going to be the main thing that you're going to have with this. Now, Pagios is going to go ahead and have tile up to here. So he will be pretty effective as an altar, and he will go ahead and give you some good CC. And fantastically enough, Silas and Yovar essentially will have that range as well. So whenever Pagios ults, they will also ult and have a chance to free fire whatever units are remaining after Pagios' ults. So that's one of the key things that you're looking for. Secondly, you have to be a little bit careful because this team, while fantastic when placed up here, is lacking a secondary unit over here. So if your enemy is able to go ahead and bait out the ultimates and then quickly run it down with another set of units that survive, i.e. they drop a epic tank, they bait out the ultimates, and then essentially they double drop rare bugs shortly after that, you have the potential, if you don't have enough rage regen on these units, to just have them waltz right through. So be very cognizant of that and try to play around it with your timings based off of the rage regen subsets that you have, your attack speed subsets. All those things are going to be very, very, very valuable. But at least you know this. Off the first go through, they will not have the chance to go ahead and just run it down with double rare bugs. That's a key distinction with this team change. Now, if you are going ahead and using Elwyn, right, that's where you get the benefit. If you are using the Lily, you no longer have that benefit of the rage regen, but you're going to have to really bank on just damage at that point, right? You could even go ahead and replace the Elwyn with, or the Lily with, a Constance. I don't recommend it. You really want some form of rage regen, or if you're using the team up top here, you're going to want the Lily. It's your only option, effectively speaking. Now, the second team comp, or not second, but the third team comp that you can go ahead and develop here is if you remove the Elwyn and the Pagios, you're going to go ahead and put Yovar here, Silas here, your Brokir here, your Pagios here, and then your Elwyn is not here. Ideally, it's not Elwyn. It's going to be more something like a Lily in this particular position. Same concept. You are effectively going ahead and making a firing squad, so any unit that comes down into this corridor is instantly getting ulted by Pagios. In fact, the second they get here, they will go ahead and get ulted, so you're not even having to worry about your Silas or your Yovar getting their ults baited. They're only going to start dealing damage to whatever units remain in this position. So you really want to go ahead and bank on putting as much damage on your Pagios in this particular position. So whenever units get here, they're gone, and Silas and Yovar have the ability to kind of chip away at whatever units remain before they get to Brokir. When it comes to Piercer teams, the most important thing is your initial 30 seconds. If you can deal with the mobs, the tanks, within the first 30 seconds, before a swarm can develop or anything like that, you're feeling really, really good. If you lack the damage, though, it's going to be a horrible, horrible experience just because they're going to stack up the tanks, stack up the necros, stack up the dogs, and then you will lose. So just be a little bit aware of that and try to go ahead and play around it with your timings based off the rage regen. If you want to swap out Pagios because you don't have them, Sargak is fine as well, but you're not going to get the full benefit of using Sargak because you're going to effectively use any healer, which is going to negate the benefit of using Sargak. Then finally, if you want to go ahead and swap out Pagios for that is also fine. You're going to get some stackage over here, and that's going to be beneficial. You can even use an Ajax, right? Because remember, Ajax is going to go ahead and get that extended range, and he will be a good source of magic damage to deal with tanks, to deal with swarms. It's something to potentially consider along your route with this. Even going ahead and using a Ymrit would be fantastic because of the extended range and just damage that he will go ahead and get as a result of being on the map alongside some piercers, right? So just, there's multiple ways to flip it. Use it, right? Piercers right now are not going to be the number one team. I don't imagine so, because you're going to have to use a lot of flex units to go ahead and get the full scope and strength of this faction, at least right now. And truth be told, last season they worked, but not that great. See ya.